Colleen, Ariel. I just wanted to share a little bit of my gratitude to everyone who came to this Ayahuasca Kambo Bobinsana Cacao retreat here in Costa Rica on the beautiful lands of Heaven and Earth Sanctuary that Carol Marine Friesen owns. It was 10 days and nothing short but transformational. And I just want to share a little bit of my gratitude to everyone who showed up, everyone who had the courage to do this great work. It's not for everyone. This truly is a red road that one has to surrender to, trust and allow. So I'm grateful for the referrals, for those who arrived for this work that trust the instrument I am when I work with ayahuasca. It's been quite a journey for me with La Madre Ayahuasca, Grandmother Spirit. Began 16 years ago, and I was terrified the first time that I wanted to drink. And but I was on a mission to heal myself from all my injuries from a very traumatic car accident that I was in that left me unconscious for 3 days, and I woke up in a wheelchair with broken jaw. I have a metal plate right here, so my jaw was wired shut for 9 months, and I had internal bleeding on my left brain, diagnosed medium brain injury. I had all the side effects of PTSD, depression, anxiety, stuttering when I talked. My equilibrium was totally thrown off. I couldn't walk. I had to learn how to walk in water. That took about 2 years. To open my jaw took about, I had a jaw stretcher that took about 1.5 to 2 years just to open my mouth again. It's 16 years since this car accident, but I was grateful that the ayahuasca came to me, and I was drinking every weekend for almost 3.5, 4 years. On a mission to prove the doctors wrong and to say, no, I don't need your pharmaceutical Prozac, all the drugs that you're giving me, and keeping it low profile that I was doing ayahuasca to heal myself. When everything went through, after 3.5 years of healing myself, I journeyed to Peru to work with an incredible maestro, 86 years old, named Don Ignacio. He is now passed on. He's in the ethers looking down upon us, and I feel his prayers every time I sit. I'm deeply grateful to have done a very intense 3-month apprentice with him. He put me on a very strict dieta as soon as I arrived. I was doing mapacho, the cacao leaf tea, and drinking almost every other night for 3 months. And he was devoted to help heal me. And I was grateful that I had 3.5 years of ayahuasca in Canada before I went to Peru. So I navigated some of what I was having to face, but it was called Inferno, and it really was hell on earth. That's actually what the name means, and it put me through the ringer and then some. But I'm grateful for it all, and all the teachings and everything only helped me clean up all the stuttering that I still had. Actually, after 3.5 years, I was still stuttering and dealing with traumatic brain injuries symptoms, and still my wrist that broke and my shoulder that was dislocated, my hips that were dislocated, all the pain in my body. It still was quite the journey to heal. And then Grandma, she worked on all layers for me, not just the physical, but the spiritual, the mental, and the emotional. And I learned a lot of Icaros and surrendering to the jungle, spirits that were teaching me a lot. And then from there, I went to the Sacred Valley and did another 3 months. I worked with Herbal, with San Pedro and Bobinsana and ayahuasca, Patsy Lutz, and that was amazing working with him. He has now journeyed on to the other side as well. And also a few other medicine men named Diego Plama, who has also passed on and journeyed on to the other side. A lot of my teachers have journeyed on. Victoria Condite from Cusco, who is another amazing shaman, beautiful woman. But yeah, worked with a lot of people and did about 7 months in Peru, worked with a couple, a woman that was pregnant, giving birth to two of her children while she was on the medicine. So, learned a lot of the nurturing safety aspects as far as being pregnant and having children in ceremonies and how beautiful that is. So deeply grateful for all my teachings, and I've been under the radar for 16 years, haven't really publicly shared a lot of this. A lot of people who come sit with me over the last 12 years in Ontario, it's been underground. And so I'm just grateful to finally be able to come public and open my voice and just share my stories, which are really important, and my background of where I come from. My maestro from Canada that I worked with for 3.5, 4 years. He's 75 now. He's a very well-known maestro across Canada. He began in his 20s working with ayahuasca in Colombia, and also was assisting the Sundance there. So he taught me a lot as far as sitting with the elders, and that was also an aspect of my healing journey. It wasn't just working with ayahuasca. I was sitting with my chief out west, Ruben George and Daryl Bob, and sweating with them every Monday with their family, their children, and praying really hard in the lodge, and receiving a lot of the healing just from that. So it was multiple healing modalities that I was diving into to heal myself from the traumatic injuries that I endured from my car accident. But that's where I am 16 years later, and it all began in 2008, and we're now in 2024, and it's an honor to be guided and the instrument with grandmother ayahuasca to offer healing to those who have similar traumas as me, which I've witnessed over the years. Many people come to me with head injury, PTSD, depression, all the symptoms that I had to work through in the beginning for 5 years to be able to become normal again, I guess you could say. But yeah, it's been a long journey in Ontario, 12 years, working with beautiful people and seeing the transformation in them, and them witnessing my transformation as well. It's quite the community, quite the family. I'm truly grateful. So I'd like to mention a few of the people that journeyed and came here to Costa Rica to do this retreat. The first person is Jim, who is a doctor in the United States and Canada, board certified doctor, and I've been working with him for almost 13 years, 12 years, 13 years, and his wife. And he has a testimonial from this retreat on the other YouTube video if you want to watch. There's lots of testimonials from a lot of the people who came to do this deep dive of healing and transformation. So if you want to watch that. But I'd also like to give my gratitude to Evan, who I know have known for 2 years from Canada. Andrea, all the women, Abby, Bethany, a mother who was pregnant 8 months, who sat with the ayahuasca here 4 nights in a row with the ayahuasca, and it was beautiful to have the spirit of her child with us in ceremony. That always lightens up the container and brings such a pure joy, compassionate energy to the space. So thank you, Bethany, and to your little spirit who is going to be born very soon, and our prayers are with you. Thank you to all the men, Adam, John, Andrew, an ex-veteran who arrived with PTSD, who did such great work. Deep dive, the 4th night sitting, and that was a lot of work, but it panned out. We've all integrated, and he's been in touch, and he'd like to continue the journey, and perhaps he sees a path of also helping other veterans and other people in his life, and that's beautiful. That's what we need to step into. So yeah, that's my greatest prayer for everybody that came to do this work, and for everybody that has come to do this work all these years. Just may we pay it forward, and the gifts that we hold are also unique and beautiful, and that's the container I hold to help assist the divinity light within you to rise. May your voice open, may your art expand, whatever craft it is that you're good at. My greatest prayer is that you step into that and offer that to those who are in need, especially right now on the planet. We have a lot of suffering, and it's our time. It's our time to rise. It's our time to not hide. It's our time to share our voices. It's our time to give gratitude to these medicines, especially, and to use them in a good way, in a safe container. Honoring the Indigenous elders and doing the work, not just drinking a few times and thinking that you can administer with these medicines. It takes a lot of work. I highly recommend people who are called to work with plant medicines to sit with the elders, humble yourself, do the work, do some dietas, clean your container out, be a clear channel for these plant medicines, open your voice, start practicing sacred songs. There's a lot involved with working with plant medicines. It's not just pouring and playing a recorder all night. My training is curandero work, so I'm working all night. This retreat, it was a lot of work. The last time I was 8 hours, I was barely sat. I was working all night, and I love it. You know, I'm the instrument. I get out of the way, and I trust Grandma. And I trust the gifts that she's given me all these years, 16 years of working with her. I trust my maestros. I trust the prayers, openings in sacred space. And yeah, that's truly what this work's all about. It's just trusting. Because yeah, there's some shady work out there, and you never know who you're sitting with, the container it is they hold. Do they have a background of understanding, healing thyself through trauma? Yeah, so just do your research and trust the people. If it comes to you, that's how Grandma, you know, she weaves through the dream state reality. That's how she came to me. She's a spirit molecule. She works in the spirit realms, and it's absolutely beautiful to have witnessed her weaving all of this. You know, a lot of times I'm like, oh, okay, Grandma, of course, I'm getting out of the way. I trust you bring these people, and it's all divinely orchestrated and perfect. So much gratitude, but mainly to my sister Chica, who is offering Kambo and doing breathwork. She works so hard, and she's been doing great work. She's been to Peru. She did 30 days in silence working with Bobinsana. She's really cleaned up, and she's a clear channel, and I'm just so proud of her. This retreat, she did such good work, holding good space. And so thank you. Thank you, Shica. I'm honored to continue working with you in the future and holding retreats with you. So those who are interested to do Kambo and receive breathwork and to work with me and Shica, stay in touch. Next year, we're holding a retreat in Peru and continuing on to offer more in Costa Rica. And yeah, so the spiral is at foot. So if you'd like to jump on and be a part of what we're offering, thank you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your love. Also, deep gratitude to Clarity Barton, who I've known 8 years now, and we've held many retreats on my lands, women's retreats, but the transformation of her in this retreat was just absolutely mind-blowing. She showed up to offer yoga. She offered a beautiful ecstatic dance with a beautiful DJ list that she created. Yeah, it just brought a lot of movement for everybody to really integrate the medicine. And she was such a nurturing feminine energy to have around and assist in some of the offerings that I was offering outside of ayahuasca with teaching sacred songs and offering water blessings. And she was always there supporting and helping everyone ground and to really be receiving all the offerings and medicines in a good way. So thank you, Clarity, for all that you are and all that you hold. And I'm so grateful to hear that your voice opened and to sing with you, and especially the song you sang in the Sweat Lodge, a mermaid song, that really was special. And that Sweat Lodge to musical the Inipi that Amelia held, her heritage that she holds from Mexico, Lakota tradition, was one of the best lodges. I sat in two with her while I was here, yeah, it's absolutely incredible. I've sat with many women at the Sundance that I've attended, but Amelia, who's holding it down here with her lodge, was deeply inspiring, deeply nurturing, deeply transformational, and all the offerings that she offers as far as around water, which is also an aspect that I hold in my sharings, all based around water. So a lot of people who have worked with me over the years know my influence and my teachings by working with Dr. Emoto in 2006 and being completely inspired by his work with water. And so, yeah, that's a deep call from my heart to share in the spaces that I hold, and sharing water blessings and activating the chakras and cleansing and clearing during some of the ceremonies that I hold, and to hold that down by the waterfalls, and to offer that with herbs and Florida water, and just cleansing and offering some Sananga medicine in the eyes that is very cleansing and clearing also for many layers of the left, right hemisphere of the brain, and how the Maripola medicine that the bees make here is a beautiful Sananga medicine as well. It's a sweet honey that doesn't sting as much as Sananga, but it still stings a little bit, but it was nice and gentle. So I'm grateful to have worked with that medicine from Carol's lands. The bees are right there in her lands, and they're absolutely beautiful to watch and see how the bees are something we can learn a lot from, how they protect. And each bee has a certain role. There's like, a bee that watches the door, a bee that flies out and collects the nectar and brings it back to the queen. And then there's certain bees that just like watch the queen and protect her. And yeah, I can learn a lot just looking at a beehive and how they exist, and the medicine that they carry and the teachings that they hold. Very profound. And yeah, so ultimately this retreat was deeply healing for me as well. I received a lot in the giving. I receive a lot, and I'm just so grateful. I'm going home with such a fire in my heart, and I have a lot to share. But yeah, I have a lot of new songs, Bobinsana song to share, and a lot of new recordings. So that's kind of something I'm really going to focus my energy towards. And I pray that goes out. These songs are medicine, and I'm grateful to hear that they've assisted a lot of people, and they're helping them on their journeys and bringing peace to their hearts. That's my greatest prayer. In Peru, it's Juan, who I've known since 2011. He has a treehouse community called Novelis. So his lands are beautiful. I've done many dietas on his lands, and the Indigenous there that we're supporting. So there'll be different offerings there, calling in the Indigenous to teach us how to make, the jewelry that they make, and, just supporting the Indigenous and honoring the tapestry that they make, like this beautiful clothing, this Ayahuasca tapestry. You can see the back. This is all made by the Indigenous. So this is where my heart's at, and just where's our dollar going? And may we help these communities and help these elders and help them in this time to keep their communities thriving. The people who are doing great work, so humble and so needed in these times, to honor these plants in a good way, and to also understand that these plants aren't just about, having a trip or a sweet journey. It's very deep. It's not recreational. It's, you're going back to some deep, shadowy traumas. Perhaps if grandma takes you there, that means you can hold that, and you're strong enough to face that and to heal. All of us have trauma. All of us, we need to just look in each other's eyes and see in the Kesh, I am you, you are me. And when one suffers, we all suffer. So these plants are our allies to help us clean and clear, and to bring peace to these traumas that we endured as children in the womb of our mother, whatever traumas we've endured. Also bringing peace to our ancestors. When we do this work, they feel it. We're all connected. The veil is so thin. Even when those pass on to the other side, they're still here, and you can connect with them on these medicines and speak to them, see them, sing with them, dance with them. Lots to share, but just honoring that these plant allies are here for a reason, and they are very healing. And I pray that more people can align into these circles with good carriers and good facilitators that can hold such a divine space for very transformational healing. I pray that this is received in a good way, and I look forward to seeing many of you souls in the near future, and I'm so grateful again to have been a steward, a conduit, the instrument to Madre Ayahuasca. Truly an honor, and thank you for your support, your trust, and if you'd like to stay connected to my music, I'm Colleen Ariel on Spotify and SoundCloud. If you haven't heard a little bit of my voice vibration or the work it is I do, I was a sound therapist long before ayahuasca came into my life. My first car accident, I was 16. So my life's path has been about healing, diving deep, training, learning. She cleaned me up, and she taught me a lot about the power of vibration and the power of sound, the power of our words, and how we're 70 to 80% water. There's lots of people to follow. Dr. Gabriel Mate. I mean, it was an honor to open sound healing at his seminar in Toronto in 2014, 15, I think. And yeah, he has excellent work out there, just sharing the power of ayahuasca, the medicine ally that she is. And yeah, so lots there. But yeah, stay connected to my website. All the events and offerings will be posted there. And again, thank you for listening. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for your trust. Thank you for your love. And thank you for the weaving of ayahuasca that's bringing us all together. So, aho matakoe asen. My prayers are with you all. May peace be with you. Aho. And so it is.
Blessings, everyone. My name is Clarity. I'm here staying in a cottage with Colleen and Shica after this beautiful Madre Aya retreat that Colleen created and that Shica and I supported with our different offerings. I was mostly there to offer yoga, breathwork, ecstatic dance, and just support Colleen with all her different ceremonies, and Shica as well with her Kambo. And I am so grateful to have received a lot of healing. I want to express especially my gratitude to Colleen for really opening up a huge door in my life to this shamanic work, this shamanic healing, the sound healing that she provides, and all the teachings that she offers in her just being her authentic self. I've participated in maybe 8 other ayahuasca ceremonies with other shamans, and by far I really resonate with Colleen the most in the way that she holds her ceremonies. And so I keep going back to her work because from my perspective, she's really mastered the art of holding this kind of sacred space with ayahuasca. As she mentioned, she's trained as a curandera, and for me that's a very feminine, nurturing aspect of the ceremonies that I really appreciate a lot, because Colleen will go around each of us, like every one of us, multiple times and actually use her tools to clear some energies and to help us move through different things that might arise in ceremony. Her songs, her energy are also very feminine, which for me is important with ayahuasca because she is a feminine spirit, and I work with divine feminine spirituality. I am devoted to reconnecting, to helping others reconnect also with the divine feminine, because I feel that we really need the wisdom from the divine feminine and the approach, the more feminine approach that is more inclusive, more compassionate, more sensitive and intuitive to offer healing. I find that most people who need healing actually need that very feminine energy that Colleen has. Although she is very balanced, also has a lot of masculine energy to hold such a tight, strong container in her ceremonies, which is very much necessary with ayahuasca from what I've witnessed. It's a delicate space to hold, to be able to protect that space and to have very strict rules, because participants might try to break these rules, and these rules are there for the benefit of all to really be safe and access the most amount of healing. And so I really trust Colleen in her approach and her training, in the way she's showing up in these ceremonies very authentically. And I'm so honored to know her, and for me she really came through as a teacher in these ceremonies, my heart just opened and I wept because it's so much to receive her as a teacher. She really holds some precious codes that we need right now to heal and to reconnect with nature, reconnect with, I want to say, our indigenous nature, our belonging to Mother Earth, and to this kind of wisdom that comes with working with the spirits of the plants, of spirit animals. So I very much resonate with the path that she took, and I'm called to take a similar path for my own healing during those ayahuasca ceremonies. Throughout those years that I've been working with Colleen, perhaps 7 or 8 years sitting in ceremony with her, I experienced a lot of healing of my ancestral trauma and reconnected to my ancestors, even the ones that I never met in person, Indigenous people from Argentina. And I was able to make peace also with my family members and clear some karma there, and just receive their medicine, receive the gift that is in my lineage, the seers in my lineage, the oracles, the teachers, the intuitive woman in my lineage. I was able to connect with that and really step into my own priestess path. And so a lot of which I received in those ayahuasca ceremonies over the years have actually informed the work that I do with women as a teacher of divine feminine spirituality and a tantra teacher. And a lot of it is not only magic and all this feminine energy. A lot of it is about shadow work. It's about transforming the shadow, witnessing the shadow, and creating compassion for the shadow that wants to be witnessed. And so a lot of my earlier ceremonies had to do with that, and witnessing the shadow on a collective level. And I really feel that the work that we're doing with ayahuasca and these ceremonies, especially with Colleen, and the work that I'm passionate about, is about restoring this balance on the earth and transforming the shadow by bringing this compassion and bringing this light into the world. And so I really feel that I'm contributing in a good way and in a big way every time I sit in ceremony, in ayahuasca ceremony, every time I do my work with my sisters as well. And some other forms of healing that I received was around my womb and my own sexual trauma and my addictions with relationship, love, and sexuality. All this stuff around sacral energy, I was able to really clear that in a big way in the last 4 ceremonies that we did at the retreat. And Madre Ayahuasca came into my womb and really opened it up and cleared all the gunk that was there, which eventually opened my voice. I became this clear channel from my womb, through my heart, all the way up my throat. I was being sang by spirit, and I was able to contribute with all my being to these medicine songs which were shared in ceremony. So I'm very grateful for being able to be of service in that way as well, to open my heart to share myself with others, and my voice to express myself more clearly, to heal also a lot of my relationship dynamics with men, with sisters, healing the sister wound, learning how to have boundaries for myself with men and in all relationships. So these are some of the things that I've learned in ayahuasca ceremonies. And yeah, I'm just really, really grateful for being offered this path in this life, to peek into the mystery and to truly be humbled by all this gift of this wisdom that comes from this place of surrender. Because when you work with ayahuasca, you have to surrender, and it is truly humbling, and it is an honor. It is a true gift. So I give thanks to ayahuasca. I give thanks to all the plant medicine that accompanied us on this journey and still do, and that are here for our healing in this era where I believe many need this kind of healing. I'm so grateful for my teachers, all of my teachers, my grandmothers, abuelas, elders, around the world who taught me so much, especially Colleen, who is coming into elderhood, coming into stepping even more as a teacher. I'm so grateful for her trust and welcoming me into these sacred spaces over the years. I'm grateful for Shica as well for being such a sister to me. And yeah, weaving together in these spaces with Colleen has been really empowering as a woman, stepping into leadership, into playing a role in our communities, in our respective communities, and yeah, expressing ourselves with our unique gifts as women, and really feeling called to this path, and seeing how others are called to this path is really beautiful. I'm really grateful for all of the people who supported us on the land, Carol and her beautiful Heaven and Earth Sanctuary. I'm grateful for the waters of this land in Jirbo, who are these eternal waters just flowing and clearing us over and over again. I'm really grateful for the prayers that we did together for the waters and for the whole collective. And if you're watching this video, I trust that you are also in prayer with us, and I'm very grateful for you. Thank you for doing your own work, and perhaps we'll get to connect in one of the future retreats. Have a blessed integration of all these energy watching this video, and be well.
Hi everyone, I'm Shica, and I am a Kambo practitioner, also a body worker, and I work with bush medicine and other plant medicines as well. I wanted to come on here and just connect with you, share a little bit more about my experience and how this powerful container has really transformed me, as well as working with Colleen, and just really to give you more of an idea of this potent prayer, this potent ceremony that we've created all together. So I started my journey with Colleen about 5 years ago. And at the time, I spent about 7 years going through some deep, potent traumas that were coming up, specifically around physical trauma, PTSD, insomnia. I had a lot going through my nervous system. And after many years of therapy, I did my research and I started to have dreams of Madre and the medicine. And I didn't know at the time that it was Madre communicating with me for 2 years through dreams. It was an older Shipibo woman that was coming, and she was singing with me in a very soft, gentle voice. And then when I did my research and I was talking to a friend, they said, this might be ayahuasca. This might be the medicine that's connecting with you. So from there, I called in for someone to sit with, and it really didn't feel aligned the first time. She was testing me, as she always does. And I always say that with any medicine, you don't have to seek for it. It will always find you when you need it, right? So I sat there patiently, and I continued to receive the dreams in the dream world, all of the medicine that she was working with me. And eventually, after sitting with someone, and for the first time, it didn't really resonate with me. But through that connection and through that ceremony, I met a brother that said, hey, you should really sit with Colleen, and I think you would really resonate with her, and just kind of went through the feel and the energy of her ceremonies. So I sat my first ceremony 5 years ago, and since then it has really transformed my life a lot. I no longer shake from PTSD reactions and releases at night. I'm able to sleep. My insomnia is non-existent. I've been able to heal my womb. I suffered with endometriosis. Alongside with ayahuasca and Cambo, I've been able to really heal, connecting with the ancestral traumas that I was holding in my DNA, in my body. And I'm so beyond grateful for the medicine for supporting me with that. I've also been able to find Cambo and to be a facilitator of this medicine, to be a carrier of this medicine thanks to ayahuasca. When I sat with ayahuasca for the first couple of years, this is when Cambo frogs were coming in, again, in a dream state for me. For me, I receive a lot of messages through dreams. So it was coming in really strong. And as much as I resisted it, I decided to sit with the medicine after having various physical elements such as candida, ulcers, and the endometriosis flare-ups were starting again. So it's interesting how our bodies are constantly whispering to us. And I always like to say our bodies whisper to us before it screams, right? And ayahuasca has taught me to listen to my intuition, to listen to my gifts, and I'm really beyond grateful for it. So I just wanted to really bring you guys into my experience with the medicine and how she has supported me so deeply, and how it's brought me into my path. I'm beyond grateful. I'm grateful that the gifts that I feel that has come through me to share with this world is breathwork. So I'm a breathwork facilitator. I studied that for 2 years. I was able to bring breathwork into this retreat in Costa Rica, and it really allows us to connect with our spirit, our soul. A lot of tribes believe that your breath is, your spirit. It's the deepest connection to your soul, your essence. When you first come into the earth realm, it's the first thing you do, and when you leave and transition, it's the last thing that we do, right? So we have the access to that wisdom every day. And when we can consciously connect with it, there's such deep healing and clarity and revelations that can happen. So I'm really grateful that I've been able to witness such beautiful souls that have come into the space to heal, to breathe together. I also work with bush medicine, herbal medicines, and I also work with Cambo. So I've been working with Cambo for 3 years now. I've been a Cambo practitioner facilitator for 2 years. And when I first connected with Cambo, like I mentioned at the beginning of my story, it was really to help heal my body. It was to help heal my relationship with my womb, with my bleed, with my moon cycle, and to really understand, what is here that I want to heal? Why is my womb having these pains, and why am I receiving a lot of cysts? I was getting cysts every 2-3 months. And it was painful. It was excruciating. It was very difficult. My hormones were going up and down. So with Cambo, I started to work with Cambo, and I sat on my first ceremony, and I just remember intuitively receiving from Cambo, welcome home. And I didn't really understand what the essence of that meant. I just knew it was a feeling. And I'm sure you've also had a feeling where it's just this feeling of home. It's this feeling of being. It's this feeling of belonging. One of the reasons why I love community, one of the reasons why I love doing these retreats, is being able to feel this sense of community, purpose, intention. It's so important in this earth realm. And when we can really clear and cleanse our channel to understand why we're here and come home to ourselves, then we can be this beautiful channeling being for this collective. So I first had to start with me, and it continues to start with me and my work, right? It's important. It's my responsibility to be in integrity so I can fully be giving my heart and holding space for the souls that feel called to sit with this frog medicine. So yeah, that's really where it started. I started to sit with practitioners with the medicine and healing my body, and my moon cycles became much more in flow, much more in sync. I noticed that my mental health was much more balanced. My sleep was better. My parasites and candida, because I was getting a lot of candida and parasites in my intestines and my stomach. So it cleansed out completely. Just from the first ceremony I had, actually, that was where I saw the biggest clearing. And I continued to maintain that with Cambo. I then felt called to get certified to self-apply because I wanted to start to work with the spirit of Cambo. And I was told that this was through this teacher and practitioner who's actually now my teacher now, Corey. I'm so grateful for her. She is the founder with Peter Gorman and co-founder of IASP, which is a Cambo association. And this is where I did my training eventually. So I started working with Cambo for at least almost a year until the call came to do the training. And yeah, I'm really grateful. I'm so grateful to learn from the spirit of the medicine, and also to connect and really sit with Cambo and say, how can we support this being who is here that wants to connect with you? Every frog, every stick has a spirit of its own, has an intention to support you. And it is important to really be in a space of connecting and doing your work, especially when we're working with the physical and the energetic realm with Kambo. That's really what Kambo is. It's not psychedelic. It's actually a medicine that clears and cleanses your being to support you so you can sit with beautiful psychedelic medicines such as Aya. So it really is great. In Brazil, they usually sit with Kambo first. As you know, Kambo is from the Matses, which is the deepest areas in the jungle. It's a tribe that this is where the medicine was founded by. I actually get my medicine directly from the Matses, which is important to me. And I think one of the biggest things and values that I bring into my work is helping and supporting the Indigenous. And that includes supporting and making sure that the medicine is rooted in the Indigenous as well. So yeah, that's a little bit more about Kambo and what I do and I support. And I'm so beyond grateful to be receiving these this space, this energy, this template of my being, and stepping into that to be of service from my heart. That is important. That is something that I strive to do every day for you, for us, for all relations. So yeah, and I also focus in women's health as well, as my story has been a lot around physical trauma and also endometriosis. It has brought me to get curious, to learn and heal myself. So I do work with body work, I work with womb healing, and those are the things that I really bring into the spaces. So yeah, that's more about me, and I'm so beyond grateful to be working with Clarity, to be working with Colleen, to be calling in collaboration and bringing in warriors that can bring their gifts and call other warriors to come together to heal, to be in ceremony at a time on this earth where we need it the most. So if you are here and you've made it to this point, I know that deep in your heart, you also are a warrior. And I'm so grateful that you are here in this lifetime to be in this earth at this time. It is such a beautiful time with this new earth rising, with this new energy rising within. It's exciting, and we can't do it alone. I can't do it alone. We all have to do it together. So yeah, this is all about what I wanted to share and what came through my heart. If you want to connect with me more and you feel called to just go deeper, or maybe curious more about the works that I do, we can connect on YouTube. Chica is where I go from. My first name is Shica, but people used to call me Chica when I lived in Brazil, so I just say Chica. But yeah, Chica on all media platforms, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. We can connect there, and you can really tune in and let your heart lead into what you feel called to explore and see, whether that's retreats or healing work or anything that's there for you. So I'm sending you deep prayers and blessings, and thank you for being here and sharing your magic again. And my deepest prayer for you is to really come home to yourself, and to be the highest template, the highest tool for the collective, so the new earth can rise. Okay. Sending you so much love.